Bound not by blood, but by trust and reliance. No matter how far apart they are, they always find hope in each other's hearts. No matter how grim the situation, these two will always find comfort in one another. And where one lacks, the other makes up for it with style. No enemy or obstacle can break that bond. Heck, I don't even need to say their names, and I bet you already know who I'm talking about. Welcome to Tails Nexus, the place where an Aussie bloke will yap about a yellow fox for several minutes and probably leave you with more questions than you had before. So, I made a video a while ago detailing what I think a Tails game could be like if it ever came to life. Please. Viewer Maybeka left this comment on that video, and it really made my day. I agree with you, Maybeka. Starline is a fantastic antagonist, and I think he'd be an awesome addition to a Sonic game. I'm not great at showing appreciation for praise, but trust me, I really do appreciate it. So, today's topic is straightforward, but I'm excited to dig into it. We're not just talking about one character, we're talking about two, Sonic and Tails, and we're going to dive into what makes these two the best duo in all of video game media. Now, this question isn't exactly new or outlandish, but that's exactly why it's worth exploring. Sonic and Tails have been inseparable for so long, and their bond is what really sets them apart from any other video game duo. So, let's take a closer look at these best buds and figure out why they work so well together. But before we dive in, here's a fun Tails fact that you might not know, because, well, it's nearly impossible to find sources for it. But, did you know Tails' entire existence came about purely out of luck? When Sonic Team was developing Sonic 2 back in 1992, they weren't actually sure who would be Sonic's sidekick. They had a choice between Ray, the Flying Squirrel, and Miles Tails Prower. Fortunately for us, we got Tails. And even more fortunately, Ray wasn't entirely discarded. He was eventually brought into later games, though it's a real shame they abandoned him for so long. And no, Sonic Mania does not count as his comeback. Anyway, let's talk about Sonic and Tails, and the factors that go into making them the most iconic duo of all time. Ever heard of that phrase before? It gets tossed around a lot, usually to explain how people are drawn to others with traits that are the exact opposite of their own. But honestly, that whole idea is kind of a myth. More often than not, it ends up being a toxic love trait if you ask me. However, when we zoom out from dating and relationships, opposites attract actually starts to make a lot more sense, especially when it comes to character design. Let's go right back to the Stone Age. Not metaphorically, I mean the literal caveman era. We're gonna start simple. Color schemes. Nothing fancy, no specific hex codes or artsy jargon, just colors. Sonic, cobalt blue. Tails, amber yellow. Now you might be thinking, okay, so what? Well, this is where your ancient survival instincts kick in. Before city, before big computer, there was only sharp stick and big rock. We had to learn fast. Anything shiny, bright or colorful might be danger. Must identify threat before threat eats us. Very important. Basically, humans developed a primal response to contrast. When two high contrast colors stand side by side, like Sonic's blue and Tails' yellow, they pop. It catches your eye. You're hardwired to notice it. It's the same reason why danger signs are red and yellow. You're not supposed to ignore them. So, to prove my point, we're gonna go full survival mode. I'm about to show you a rapid fire barrage of character duos, Sonic and Tails included, but here's a twist. You're being hunted. Stay alert. Your instincts are the only thing keeping you alive. If a duo stands out to you, if they burn into your brain like a warning sign, boom, that's visual chemistry. Get your game face on. This is about to get intense. Now, if my science hasn't failed me, you probably spotted Sonic and Tails immediately in that lightning round. And before you scroll down and comment, hey, that wasn't fair, you used duos with similar color schemes. Of course Sonic and Tails stood out. Well, that's exactly my point. Their color contrast demands attention. Your brain just locked onto them faster than anything else on screen. That's the kind of instinctual design that makes a duo unforgettable. Oh, and hey, let's test those gamer reflexes of yours. Drop a comment naming all the duos I flashed during that segment. Did you catch every pair? Or was I too quick for you? But yeah, contrasting colors are what makes Sonic and Tails pop. Other duos might have matching outfits, themed palettes, or that visual sense of unity, but they don't have that instant punch to the eyeballs, that BAM factor. And to be clear, those other duos, still cool as heck, but in a blink and you'll miss it situation, they just don't stand out the same way. Now that we've covered the visual side of things, let's shift gears into something just as important: personality. Sonic is bold, brash, and bursting with confidence. He's the type to dive headfirst into danger with a smirk, no plan, and a one-liner locked and loaded. He's got that hot-headed charm, cool under pressure, but definitely not the thinking type. Tails, on the other hand, he's quiet, thoughtful. He second-guesses himself. He's not the guy who runs into the burning building. He's the one figuring out how to put out the fire without anyone getting hurt. He's the brains, the tech wizard, the gentle soul in the chaos. Where Sonic charges forward, Tails holds back and assesses. Where Sonic is cocky, Tails is humble. One talks with his fists, the other builds a plane. And together, they're unstoppable. This balance is what makes them so compelling. They don't cancel each other out, they complete each other. One brings speed, the other brings strategy. One inspires, the other supports. And that kind of harmony? That's rare, even in the world of fiction. I could go on and on and on about how wildly different these two are, and honestly, that's exactly what makes them the best duo in gaming. Just look at the basics. Tails is small, Sonic is tall, Sonic's the older brother figure, Tails is the baby genius, one's a predator species, a fox, the other's a hedgehog, which is technically prey in the animal kingdom. These two are just built different, like scientifically and narratively, but somehow their differences never pull them apart, they only make them stronger. Now, let's talk about the final major point when it comes to the opposites attract angle: powers. Sonic is the fastest thing alive. He's all about blistering ground speed, raw momentum, and never staying still for a single second. His entire combat style is a blur of spin dashes and homing attacks. He owns the ground. But Tails? He's the master of the skies. Flight is his domain. Those twin tails aren't just for show. They're an entire mode of traversal Sonic could never replicate. Tails can hover, scout, carry allies, and outmaneuver enemies from above with unmatched precision. They've literally mastered opposite dimensions of movement. One air, one land, and rather than clash, they mesh like gears in a well-oiled machine. Where one hits a wall, the other flies over it. Where one stumbles, the other soars. And the best part? Their weaknesses are covered by each other's strengths. Sonic can't fly? Tails has your back. Tails isn't great in a high-speed chase? No worries, Sonic's already 10 steps ahead. You want to corner Tails on the ground? Sonic's already there to clean house. You want to try and outfly Sonic? Well, joke's on you, Tails is watching from above with a wrench in hand. Individually, yeah, you can pick out their flaws, but together? Good luck, mate. You better have a doomsday weapon, or a giant mech, or a dimension-shattering scheme lined up if you even want to delay them. Villains in the Sonic universe don't just need power. They need a plan B, C, D, and a backup hard drive. Because if Sonic doesn't outrun your plans, Tails will outthink them. Now, the words unbreakable, inseparable, and unstoppable are used to describe the pair. But why do we call them that? Are they actually that tight-knit, or is it just one of those phrases we all agreed to repeat after having that spoon shoved down our throats for the past 30 years? Well, let's take a look. Sonic and Tails are iconic, no doubt about it. But hey, they're not quite as mainstream iconic as Mario and Luigi. Thankfully, this isn't a comparison video, so we're safe from that firestorm. What does matter is that these two have been a duo since 1992. That's a long time in video game years. Like, these guys are older than the first text message. But what sets them apart from other duos, even the red and green plumbers? It's the chemistry. Sonic and Tails genuinely feel like best friends. They don't just share screen time, they share growth, setbacks, and victories. Their friendship has withstood apocalypses, interdimensional disasters, Eggman's weekly attempts at world domination, and yeah, even gravity-breaking chaos like in Sonic Colors and Generations. And here's the important bit. They're not perfect. They've butted heads. Tails has called Sonic out when he's made reckless choices. He's even stormed off, especially in Sonic Lost World. But those rough patches, they never last. Because that's not just friendship, that's family. That's earned trust. One of my favorite examples of this trust comes from Team Sonic Racing of all places. Knuckles calls out Tails for being a little bit sneaky, and Sonic, without skipping a beat, just straight up asks Tails if that's the case, which Tails admits that he's up to something, but does Sonic demand an explanation? Nope. He just says, "You'll tell me when I need to know." That right there? That's next level unspoken understanding. That's trust you don't question. It's a recurring beat in the series. Sonic takes a hit, goes down, and when he wakes up, where's Tails? He knows the moment he's back on his feet, the mission isn't complete until that fox is flying at his side again. Not because he's helpless without him, but because they're stronger together. He's not worried about the villain. He's not worried about the mission. He's thinking about his little brother. Because to Sonic, getting back to full power doesn't mean catching his breath or getting a couple of rings. It means finding Tails. That fox is his anchor, his compass, his constant. They've been through so much together, and their bond has never felt one-sided. Tails has saved Sonic just as many times as Sonic saved Tails, sometimes more. Even when their personalities clash or they have to split up, they never feel apart. It's like there's always a tether between them. Like, no matter how far away they get, they'll snap right back into sync the moment danger hits. Honestly, it's beautiful. And it makes me genuinely emotional seeing that kind of bond in a franchise that's gone through so many wild changes. So yeah, unbreakable, inseparable, unstoppable? Not just fancy buzzwords, these two live it. Every time. When we talk about legacy and consistency, Sonic and Tails have built a reputation as one of the most enduring duos in gaming, but they're not alone in this regard. There are plenty of famous duos out there. Mario and Luigi, Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter. And while each of these pairs have been iconic in their own right, what makes Sonic and Tails stand out? The key difference is how Sonic and Tails' bond has developed over time. Sure, other duos like Mario and Luigi have been inseparable for decades, and they share a great sibling dynamic, but Sonic and Tails' relationship was built on trust and mutual respect from the start. And that connection has only deepened. It's not based on blood or circumstance. It's based on shared experience and growth. For example, Sonic and Tails have faced many challenges over the years, from saving the world to defeating enemies across galaxies. And through it all, Tails hasn't just been the guy who gets carried around by Sonic. He's been an equal partner, using his own skills and intellect to contribute to their success. Sonic may be the fast one, but Tails is the one who often figures out the hard problems. In contrast, many other duos tend to fall into predictable roles. Mario and Luigi might always be there for each other, but their roles are clearly defined from the start. Mario's the hero and Luigi's the backup. Sonic and Tails, on the other hand, have grown together and became a true team. Tails has never been just a sidekick, he's always been more than that, and Sonic recognizes him as such. Another thing that sets Sonic and Tails apart is their evolution. They've been partners since 1992, and throughout their many adventures, they've adapted to each new challenge without ever losing the heart of their bond. Whether it's taking on Dr. Eggman or facing new threats, their relationship remains at the core of their identity. It's a dynamic partnership that's just as fresh today as it was over 30 years ago. So, while there are plenty of famous duos out there, what makes Sonic and Tails stand out is the way they've remained relevant over time. Their consistency is not just about being together for years, but about how their bond continues to evolve and adapt, always keeping pace with the challenges they face. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Don't shoot the messenger. What do you reckon though? Did I miss any iconic bonding moments between these two? Or am I just flapping my gums for no reason? You tell me in the comments below. Be honest, I can take it. Probably. And hey, if you enjoyed the video, don't leave me hanging. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into video game friendships that'll make you say, "Aww," and that's actually pretty cool. And check out my playlist for more of my random ramblings. Catch you next time. Keep flying high. Psst. Hey, did you know I've got a Discord server now? You can hang out with me in the community in real time. No waiting for the next upload. The link is in the description, and I can't wait to see you there.